Hey guys, Dynasty Warrior 6 here again, not with a game finds video as you can probably tell from the title, and I do apologize to everyone. I did want to get a video out yesterday, but yesterday I had a lot of issues I had a family barbecue to go to, and just a lot of things that were piling up that needed to get done, so I was unable to get a video out like I normally do, so I do apologize about that. Also, funds have been really tight recently with rent coming up and being due, saving for the Portland Retro, of course, and just, I have a lot of people who owe me money, but no one's paying me back the money they owe me. So it's always nice when that happens. So anyways, okay, on a lighter note, I'm doing a top 10 most valuable video games in my collection. Now, these are just some of these are not like the most, not just most valuable, also most rare. And some of these aren't like exceptionally expensive rare, but just rare or valuable, but like just rare. Sometimes they're harder to find in these certain circumstances, especially on a few games. But these are my top 10 rarest, most valuable games. So we'll start with PlayStation. PlayStation probably has the biggest chunk of my rarest games. The first one is, of course, a long box. It's the only long box PlayStation game that's exceptionally rare. And it's NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Now, some people are like, it's only like a $30, $40 game. Yes, it is. It's only like a $30, $40 game, but it's very hard to find long box and complete. It is very hard to find, and the complete is really hard. I've seen a lot of listings on eBay for just the disc, but not the case and the manual and everything. So finding the case and the manual and having it basically complete is very hard to pull off. So if you find it, definitely get it. It's like a 30, 40, even sometimes 50, sometimes. It's very rare on PlayStation. But it's not valuable, but it is uncommon to rare. Definitely rare. Next up is, of course, a probably must-have for a lot of guys. That would, it's a great PlayStation game. Very fun. It's platforming at its greatest on PlayStation. It is Tamba. Tamba was one of the games I got for $1.50 at a garage sale. Got very lucky on it. Extremely lucky. Very rare. It's a very hard to find game. A lot of fun to play. I've already played a little bit of it. It's definitely got a kind of an interesting story. It's very kind of free roaming in a sense, but definitely a very rare game. Very valuable and very rare. You don't see it as often as you used to. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Oh, it's being retarded. Okay, oh, I see what I did. There we go. So it's very uncommon. It's very rare. If you find it, if you have it, great. And if you can find Tamba 2 complete, wow. Tamba 2 is just as rare, if not rarer, than Tamba 1. So, and this can average. I've seen it go from like 70 to 90 easily on this one. Next up is a game that's been going up in value for. I don't know why it's been going up in value. It just has. And it's getting rarer and rarer, especially the first one's getting rarer, and this one's really rare. Tales of Destiny 2. Tales of Destiny 2, I got on a Craigslist deal. It is complete, of course. The guy had it priced at like $60, and I offered him $30. I really undercut him. I thought, he's going to go up to $40 at least. He messaged me back saying, yeah, I'll do it for $30. So I got Tales of Destiny 2 for $30. It has gone up. I've seen it now sell for even 100 to 120 sometimes. I don't know. It's a good game. It's just getting rarer and harder to find. And a lot of people are looking for Tales of Destiny 1 and 2. It's a good series. I like the Tales games. I am so looking forward to Tales of Exilia. It looks like a great game. It's one of the games I have pre-ordered. So Tales of Destiny 2, though, very rare game, and it's getting rarer. It is getting rarer. Next up is, of course, another very rare game. I bought this for almost, it's like an $80 game, $90 game sometimes, and it is Persona 2 Eternal Punishment. This was hard to find. I couldn't believe the guy actually had it. This is in really good condition. The case has a little crack right there, but overall it's in really good shape. The manual is in beautiful condition. The discs and there's discs. Even though it says only one disc right here, there are 2 discs to this game. There's a bonus disc. And sometimes having the bonus disc is kind of hard to have in this game, but it's a very rare game. It's really hard to find if you can find it. Persona 1 is also very rare, so Persona 1 and 2 are both rare. I love that Persona 1, but I do have Persona 2. So I'm very happy to have this in my collection. It is definitely one of my rarest PlayStation games, and one of my rarest games overall. Next up, of course, is a lot of people know about it. It is the Lunar II, big box complete one. This is utterly complete. You know, I got it for $5 on a Craigslist deal. This thing is incredible. It has retained value very well. Working Designs did a great job in the reboot of this. If you got it, you know, it's a very funny enough for a lot of collectors. They do have Lunar 1 and 2 complete. Usually, my Lunar 1's a little bit better just because it does have the demo CD that came with it with the pre-ordering. It does have that, but I didn't want. This one's a little bit more valuable and rare to have fully complete. So, Lunar 2, you know, I think everyone knows it's got the book, the game, all these little cardboard cutout thingies. It's pretty intense. It's got a little like soundtrack thing too, where you're supposed to put the demo that you got in another game like Vanguard Bandits or Silhouette Mirage or something like that. So very cool. So that's it for PlayStation games. Next up, we'll jump into a slightly older system. First is we'll go to Super Nintendo. Street Fighter Alpha 2 complete in box. Street Fighter Alpha 2 did not get a very big release, I think, on this game, on this system. It did come out in '96. So by '96, the N64 was basically in full swing, if not going to be released. So many games that were released in '96 kind of saw the tail end of releasing, and some of them are kind of rare. Kind of like how the NES games towards the end, like Little Samson was released late in the life of the Nintendo, and thus it is rare. This is kind of the same scenario. The cart is sometimes easy enough to find. Having the box and the manual with the cart is very hard to find. So Street Fighter Alpha 2 complete in box is fairly rare. It's probably, last I checked, it was like $70, $80 complete in box. It may have gone up. Super Nintendo games, for some strange reason, are on the rise of value. Turtles in Time in our area right now is selling for $50 basically. Loose cart. That's high for Turtles in Time. I bought Turtles in Time for like $16. Now, and I thought that was too much. So there you go on that. Next up is probably one of my rarest Super Nintendo games. It is Lufia 2: Rise of the Sinistrals. A very rare game. I got very lucky in this in a bundle at a thrift store. They had a bundle of Super Nintendo and like 5-6 games, and Lufia 2 was in that bundle, and it was very lucky to find. It's a very uncommon game. You don't see it very often. I would love to have it complete in box. Sadly, I don't. But Lufia 2 is still a great addition to anyone's collection, especially if you're trying to collect only the rare games. Lufia 2 is a very important game to have if you're collecting rare only on Super Nintendo. So next up, it's one Sega Genesis game that I consider one of the rarest I own that to be complete in box, and it is Grindstormer. Grindstormer I did basically pay full price for. I used basically store trading credit to get it. But it is complete. It does come with the manual. I have played this game. This game is extremely aggravating. Sometimes the hit detection is a little off, and that's what upsets me the most. But it's a great game. It's in great condition. This game cost me $70. I think it's gone up in value a little bit because it's hard to find complete in box. You can find the cart, of course, like any other Sega Genesis cart, Sega game. You find the cartridge, but finding the complete in box is a little harder. And it's Grindstormer, one of those classic trucks and shooter games. So, very cool game to have, and I've played it. It's very upsetting though, so I yell at the screen a lot during my gaming of this. Next up, I have a Sega CD game on here. It was a recent acquisition, probably a couple weeks ago, but it is definitely one of the best Sega CD games regarding rarity-wise that I own. I bought it for about $50. I think it goes for a little bit more now, but I got Lunar, the Silver Star story on Sega CD. This is the original release of it. This is where it first came out. It wasn't on it wasn't PlayStation. It was Sega CD. It's a great game. I have yet to play it just yet. I've been meaning to play the PlayStation version, though I do hear that the music is a little different. It's a fun game though, from what I've seen on some gameplay footage and stuff. I'm looking forward to it. It's just sitting down. I don't have a lot of time to sit there and play an RPG, because RPGing, like, this guy is taking me forever. I'm still in the first one. just because it's grinding. There's a lot of grinding sometimes, and grinding eats up a lot of hours of gameplay. But Lunar, this one's in great shape. The manual is in beautiful condition. It's just a great game. So there we go on that one. And the last game, and it's by far the rarest game and most valuable game in my collection. Maybe not the, probably one of the rarest, if not the rarest game in my collection is, and a lot of people know what it is already probably. It's a very recent acquisition, and it's Burning Rangers on Sega Saturn. It is a this was expensive. I spent in the end, I basically spent like $140, $130 for it. It's worth about $150. Burning Rangers is one of those really rare Sega Saturn games like Shining Force 3 or Albert Odyssey or Dragon Force. It's just very rare. It's very uncommon. It's just you don't see it very often. And when you do, I felt when I saw this, I wanted it. It's now the rarest game in my collection. It's just a great game, and it's just great to have something of really cool to have in the collection. So that's it. That's it for the rarest games, the top 10 rarest games. I think I've got a pretty good collection. There's always room for improvement. There's a lot of games on Sega Saturn I've been wanting to buy. Shining Force 3, Albert Odyssey, Dragon Force now, Guardian Heroes. Those are all games I want to buy and play, especially Dragon Force and Guardian Heroes. Those two I really want to play. But Super Nintendo, there's always room for improvement. I still need, and it's becoming a bit of a pain in the ass. I still need Super Castlevania 4 and Super Metroid. Those are two games I don't have that are must-haves. So, there's always room for improvement on any collection, no matter what system you're collecting for. Even Sega Genesis, I still need improvement on. I'm still missing like 500 video games, so of course there's room for improvement on that. So that's it, guys. So I thank you. I appreciate you guys, being patient. I do apologize about not having a video out. On Sunday. I will work on that next time. I apologize, but thanks for tuning in. So, and I hope you enjoyed it. A little trip down. Maybe you saw a game that you might need to get. That'd be cool. Cool. So I'll definitely see you guys later in the week.